Texas right now, and joining us on the telephone is Governor Greg Abbott and also Nim Kidd, Chief of the Texas Department of Emergency Management. Governor, can you hear us?
I sure can. Great to be with you, Robert.
Thank you. A lot of folks are asking us, how can Texas, the cradle of American energy, leave hundreds of thousands of Texans powerless when we need it the most?
Sure. I know power is one of the most pressing concerns right now. So let me real quickly explain how this works and some good news that is coming. The way that power is distributed in Texas is through ERCOT, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas. And ERCOT receives power from power generators across Texas. And they were able to provide power, for the most part, across the entire state of Texas through late last night. And then as the storm really began to hit Texas in its harshest condition, the ability of the power generators to be able to generate the power to provide to ERCOT became very limited because, among other things, the operational facilities froze up. And this includes power providers ranging from natural gas to coal to all different forms of energy. And we've been working with both the PUC as well as with ERCOT all day long today to get more power, especially to residential areas. And in just the past few hours, we've been able to restore power to about 200,000 households, and we are expecting that to increase here in the coming hours.
Dan Woodfin, who works with ERCOT as a senior official, says ERCOT's handling of this was not inadequate. How do you respond to that?
Well, I was talking to the ERCOT leaders earlier today, and what they explained to me is that their goal is to balance supply and demand, which they were able to do. The problem that ERCOT had, they no longer were able to get the energy they needed from generators because the generators, which are private companies, became incapable of generating the energy because their operations literally froze up. And there were some other issues, so some busted pipes and some things like that they've been using today to correct. And the good news is that the companies that generate the energy have been working all day to repair their systems to get the energy back online, and that energy is in the process of being restored to hundreds of thousands of Texans as we speak.
Governor, could you elaborate on the infrastructure of Texas and how we're handling this right now in terms of getting resources out to people who need it?
Well, and I'll mention two things about the infrastructure. One part is the power infrastructure. So as far as distributing the power, that infrastructure wasn't compromised. What was compromised was the ability to receive power by the generators. And that's something that the state will be taking a look at with regard to what are the capabilities of private providers of energy to make sure that they will not get frozen up like this again. Separately, I don't know if you're asking about this, but I know some in your audience will want to know about it. And I'll mention part of it, then Chief Nim Kidd will add more. And that is there's another layer of infrastructure, and that is to make sure that we are doing all we can, both at the state as well as at the local level, to make sure that in the coming hours, people who remain without power will have access to what they need to be able to make it until they do have access to power. And Chief Kidd can tell you more about the details of what the Texas Division of Emergency Management is doing to achieve those goals.
Chief, go ahead, Chief.
Thank you, Governor, and hello, Robert. Thanks for taking the time. And, as the Governor mentioned, we're working very close with our local partners to make sure that there are warming centers across the state. Right now, there's about 135 of those operated by local governments and supported by private nonprofit organizations. Our 211 call centers have the address of those. We're putting together a map that we'll get to you real soon with Interactive. But I also want to take just a moment, Robert, to remind everybody, we've been planning and preparing for this, watching this storm since last Tuesday. We started having calls with our local government partners and our federal partners, and several state agencies are out supporting all of our local governments across the state right now. We ask as those that still have power to conserve that power as much as possible. knowing that our generators are doing everything they can to bring the utilities back up online as fast as possible.
And we got another winter storm warning in effect for tomorrow night, Wednesday. The preps for that, and very quickly on vaccine-related operations, how does that stand right now?
Yes,
go ahead, Jim.
The preparations for tomorrow night are ongoing. As y'all are aware, Governor Abbott requested an emergency disaster declaration on Saturday, granted on Sunday. He ordered our Emergency Operations Center into activity 24 hours around the clock. So we're not taking our eye off of this at all, Robert. And as it relates to vaccine, the feds have said that this week's shipment of vaccine will be delayed, obviously, because of roads and shipping time to get here. But we have many of our inside centers that are still delivering vaccine. It's our outside centers that will be shutting down for the safety of those that are getting the vaccine as well as giving it. Governor, anything to add?
That's it.
Okay. I know your time is precious, and we appreciate you joining us live here on KXAN. Nim Kidd, Chief of Texas Department of Emergency Management, and the Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. We're continuing to watch this, of course. The situation is very dire for a lot of people. Tens of thousands of Austin Electric customers are without power, and they're telling us the situation is likely to continue through tonight and possibly into Tuesday afternoon. We have crews all over covering the news. It's continuously being updated at KXAN.com. And of course, we'll be back with our regular newscast at 4:30 KXAN News, right after an all-new Jeopardy. This has been a KXAN News Special Report. I'm Robert.